এই দুনিয়াতে যা হয় সব ফতুইর কাজ, তাহলে এখানে ডার্ক ম্যাটার আসলে কোথা থেকে? বলে লুক ফর ক্লুজ নিয়ার দ্য ডার্ক পাওয়ার। কিছু বুঝতে পারছি না, হ্যাঁ কি বলতে না কি চায়? এই এই কোয়েস্টে চালা আমি প্রথম দিয়ে সকাল দিয়ে 3-4 ঘন্টা লেগে গেল শুধু ক্লু ঢুলতে গিয়ে। এই ডার্ক ম্যাটার গুলো তো হিলও খাচ্ছে ও ভাই।
傭兵としてのモットー。皆さん少しいいでしょうか。やっとプロの方に来ていただきました。さあさあこちらへ。何かご質問があれば彼らにお聞きください。
外から来たプロの人か。それはよかった。
俺から質問させてくれ。
皆さん慌てず秩序を守って一列に並んでください。
こんなに熱意があるなんて。
俺の質問は簡単さ。いつも大変な毎日を過ごしてるし、夢の中ぐらいはスライムになりたいんだ。一体どうしたらいい？
そういう夢をたくさん見てきたから、オイラなら答えられるぞ。最初にオイラがなったのは風スライムだ。その時は冒険者の矢に打たれて一晩中空を飛んでたぜ。2回目は草スライムだな。 子供たちに大根だと思われて頭の葉っぱをちぎられたんだ。すごく痛かったぜ。3回目は氷スライムで料理人に捕まってキンキンに冷えたジュースにされた。4回目にようやく強い岩スライムになって昔オイラをいじめたイノシシに復讐しに行ったんだ。でも結局そいつが仲間を何匹も連れてきてまた負けちゃったんだけどな。
ちょっと待った。なんでどれも悲惨な結末なんだ？
だってスライムは魔物だろ。見た目は可愛いけどいつもトラブルを起こすから冒険者に討伐される運命からは逃れられない。だから魔物はみんな良くない結末を迎えるんだ。
ও এইবার বুঝলাম।
確かに魔物は魔物だったな。
হুম।
俺はただ違った生活を体験してみたかっただけなんだ。だがこうして聞くと魔
জানি যে হয়ে
物
লাস্ট
になったら今よりもひどくなっちまうかもな。ただの山柄や魚になった方が楽しいのだろうか。
なんだ
এসব কোয়েস্ট লোকে
そこまで難しくないな。
আর আমি এখন করে
次の
বেড়াচ্ছি।
人
এসব কোয়েস্ট লোকে 50 লেভেলে করে আমি এখন করে বেড়াচ্ছি।
次は俺だ。プロの人に聞きたいんだが、どんな姿勢で寝たら前の日に見たのと同じ夢を見られるんだ？
と
এগুলো হবে না। এইসব ভিলেন দিলে আমি বাঁচবো কিভাবে? একটা সালে এটা কি দিয়ে দিয়েছে? ডাইনোসর দিয়ে দিয়েছে তো। অসম্ভব। এটাকে মারতে গেলে বাঁচবো না।
助けてくれないのかよ。ねえ、じゃあまずどんな夢を見たいのか教えてくれ。
普通の夢さ。日差しの気持ちいい日に妻とおしゃべりしながら山野に吹く風の音を聞くんだ。
じゃあ直接奥さんと話をすればいいだろ。夢を見る必要なんてないんじゃないか。
それが妻はもういないんだ。
ごめん。おいらまた言っちゃいけないことを。
いやいや、俺がきちんと言わなかったのが悪い。俺はただ妻にもう一度会いたいのさ。
そうだな。姿勢とかよりも寝る前に考えてることの方が大事だと思うぞ。
それだけでいいのか？
奥さんのことを思うのも夢を見るのもお前自身だからな。その2つを結びつけることは難しくないと思うぞ。
それもそうだな。帰ったら早速今夜試してみるよ。アドバイスありがとう。
今度は私の番。私は夢で見た植物の名前が知りたいんです。私は部屋にある記念品の箱を夢の中に持っていきたい。
লেজার মারে আবার
俺
হাট।
は昨日荒地の上をカラスが飛んでいる夢を見たんだ。何の意味が込められてるのか教えてくれ。
そう慌てるなって。話は一人ずつだ。あいつらの質問めちゃくちゃ難しかったぜ。オイラたちは別にあいつらより詳しいわけじゃなくてただ経験が豊富なだけなのに。そうだな。
ও ভাই এটাও ঘোরে
考えたりする
マシンじゃん。
時の方が質問の答えを知るよりも面白いもんな。例えるなら3日3晩お腹を空かせた放浪者がエネルギーの補充にご飯かケーキかなんて気にしないのと同じことだ。オイラが誰のことを思い浮かべてるのか今ので分かったか。
দেখ মেরে দিয়েছে একটুখানি এইচপি। আর
こんな感じのことを言うと
টিপে
思う
দিলাম
よ。
আমরা আবার।
でも今は忙しいからこういうイベントに参加する時間はない
বুঝি
だ
না
ろ
আমি
うな。
খেলার সময় কি একটা টিপে দিই কোনো একটা শর্টকাট কি আমার গেম
あ
বন্ধ হয়ে
の
যাবে।
プロのお二方に質問をしたいという方がもう一人いらっしゃるのですが。
もういいだろう。質問に答えてた時お前も見てたよな。オイラたちはプロでもなんでもないんだ。
そちらのお客さんは少々特殊でして。
こんな面白い場所にあなたたちだけで来てどうして私を呼ばなかったのか問い詰めたい気分だわ。おわ、なんでナヒーダがここに。
বারবার লাগবে একটা।
モーメント・オブ・ドリームのような面白いイベントはそうそうないもの。どんなに忙しくても時間を作って見に来ているの。あなたたちに会えたのは偶然の縁とも言えるわね。そうだ、ナヒーダは夢を一番理解してるからオイラたちの代わりに全ての質問に答えられるよな。確かにそうね。さあ、どんなことでも聞いてちょうだい。
আরো বস
面
আছে
白いほどいいわよ。どうしたの？さっきまであんなに賑やかにしていたのに、なぜ急にためらうのかしら。だとしても、私ってそんなに怖そうには見えないはずだけれど、凄さの程度で言ったら、あなたたちだってスメールでいろいろと偉大なことをやったはずよ。面白い質問が一気に消えてしまったわ。私って場を興ざめさせるような存在だったのね。ここを離れた方がいいみたい。いやいや、そういうわけじゃないぞ。モーメント・オブ・ドリームの原点には背きたくないの。人々がここに集まるのは美しき夢を自由に語り合うためよ。だけど今の雰囲気はまるで容器に入った水のよう。決まった形にはなっているけど、川を流れていた頃の自由自在な姿はもう二度と取り戻せない。私はただその中にある一つの水滴になりたいだけ。風情のわからない容器になるのはごめんだわ。拗ねてるな。みんな大丈夫だからもっと積極的に聞いてくれ。送信様はすごく付き合いやすいやつなんだ。ほら早くしないと本当に行っちゃうぞ。
じゃあ俺から行こ
さっきのスライム人間だな。
う。なんだその変な呼び名は。俺はもうスライムにはなりたくないんだ。山柄か魚の方が俺には合ってる。
なるほど。夢の中で小動物になりたいのね。どうしてそのような考えが生まれたのかしら。
いつも同じ生活を送っているので、
কেউ
少し
ফাঁকিয়ে
違
দিলে
ったこと
বুঝতে
を
পারছে
経
না
験したい
ওটাও।
のかもしれません。顔を上げれば空が見え、遠くには海もある。それなのに俺はまるで永遠に変わらない日々の中に閉じ込められているような気がするんです。
だから夢の中で新鮮な感じを味わいたいということかしら。ごめんなさい。さらに困惑してきたわ。どうして現実でその新鮮な感じを見つけようとしないの？
仕事をしないとモラが稼げ
বলে
ないから
লেভেল
ですよ。
62 হিলি
俺だって毎
বুঝবেই।
日釘を打ったり木を切ったりなんかしたくありません。けど家には養っている家族がいるんです。それを考えた時、自分の生活がつまらないことで埋め尽くされているのに気づきました。自由な空間なんて全くなかったんです。
でもたとえ夢の中で鳥や魚になっても最終的には釘を打ったり木を切り続けたりする必要があるでしょ。あなたはすでに閉じ込められている。だから肉体がどんなものに変わろうと精神がその苦境から飛び出すことはできないわ。
そんな。どうすればいいんでしょ
私はあなたの背負っているプレッシャーをこの身で直接感じることはできない。 でもどうすればいいか助言することはできるわ。金槌を変えてみてはどうかしら。
金槌を変える？
ええ、長く仕事をしているからどんな金槌が使いやすいか知っているはずよね。
はい、もちろんです。まずは叩く回数を増やさないためにも十分な重さが必要になります。それから滑らないようグリップがツルツルなやつはダメですね。そういえば今使ってる金槌ですが、しばらく変えてませんね。
ぜひ変えてみて。ついでに金槌に好きな装飾や毛皮などもつけてみるといいわ。最後に自分の子供の名前も入れてみなさい。
確かに、なんだか仕事に対して意欲が湧いてきました。
新鮮味は生活の中における些細な物事から来るものよ。あなたは鳥や魚になる必要はないの。頑張って日々を過ごしていけば、あなたの大切に思うすべてがあなたの幸せの源になるわ。
なるほど、完全に理解しました。まるで悟りを開いたかのようです。今すぐ新しい金槌を選びに、いや、自分で一本作るべきですね。ありがとうございます、送信様。
さすがナヒードだな。いつも問題の切り口を見つけるのがうまいぜ。実は私もあまり理解していないの。私がああいうアドバイスをしたのは、他の職人が同じことをやっていたのを見たから。彼は疲れを感じるとグリップにある名前を見ていたの。すると彼の顔には笑みが浮かんだ。とても驚いたわ。きっとそれは彼にとってとても大切な人の名前だったのでしょうね。ええ、観察して初めてこういった行為が人間の原動力となるのを知ったわ。でもどうしてなのかしら。それが興奮や期待によるものなのか、それとも仕方ないと思う気持ちからなのか、私にはわからない。たとえ彼の考えを知ることができても、彼の気持ちを理解することは難しいでしょうね。そうだったのか。ナヒーダからしたらそんなに遠回りして考える必要があったんだな。だから実はさっき少し不安だったの。幸い彼は嬉しそうにしていたから間違ったことは言っていないようね。あまり気にしないで。これが私の学習方法だから。オイラを忘れてもらっちゃ困るぞ。オイラだって顔色を見るのが得意だからな。ありがとう。これで私も安心できるわ。次の質問を聞きましょう。
さっき同じことを質問しましたが、やっぱり送信様の意見もお聞かせください。一体どのようにすれば夢の中で毎日亡くなった妻に会えるのでしょうか。
亡くなった人への思いね。たとえかつての美しい思い出を繰り返しても、それによってもたらされるのは現実の虚しさだけよ。もしも彼女がまだ生きていたら、そんなあなたは見たくなかったはずよね。
はい、それは分かっています。ですが、私たちが夢の中で過ごす時間はただの記憶の繰り返しではありません。彼女を強く思っているからか、夢の中の彼女はまるで生き返ったかのようなんです。夢で起こったことを彼女は全て覚えている。目覚めた後に再び夢に入っても前回の話題の続きを一緒に話せるんです。
それはまた不思議ね。一般的に連続性のある夢はほとんどないわ。
彼女はまるで私の夢の中で2回目の命を手に入れたかのようでした。しかし彼女が生き生きとしていればするほど目覚めた後の私に虚しさと苦しさが襲いかかるのです。これは喜ぶべきことなのでしょうか、それとも苦しむだけなのでしょうか。
もしかしたら全ての根源は 思いによるものなのかもしれないわ。あなたと彼女の間にとても残念に思っているやり残したことはない？
よくわかりません。ただ彼女と一緒に年を重ね、人生を最後まで一緒に歩んでいけなかったのは私にとって一番残念なことです。もういい加減前を向かなきゃいけないとは思っていました。こんなリアルな夢を見ていなければこれほど迷走してはいなかったでしょう。
これが俗に言う寝ても覚めてもっていうやつだな。でも夢は永遠に夢でしかない。私たちは現実を生きるものよ。過度に夢に溺れるのがいいことであるとは限らない。あなたの精神と気持ちをすり減らし続けるだけだわ。
分かっています。ですので私も自責の念に駆られているのです。まだ子供の面倒を見なければ子供に父親のこんな情けない姿を見せてはいけませんよね。宗神様、アドバイスありがとうございました。
彼の精神状態とても心配だわ。早く良くなるといいのだけれど。それと私の調子は悪くないから、もしも退屈に感じていたら無理に付き合わなくてもいいわよ。あなたたちはもともと遊びに来たのだし。
এখানে স্যার একটা লুমিনাস পাথরও নেই এখানে, সেই ওখানে যেতে হবে একটা luminous পাথর।
Are you feeling any better now?
মাথা গরম
Yes.
হচ্ছে।
I
এটা
think the
quest
Dendro
এটা।
Archon made a really good point. I
ও
need to stop
একবারে আমার
dwelling on my
45
wife
লেভেল
like
করে
this
দেওয়া উচিত কিন্তু,
and
এত
move
বড়
on with
কোয়েস্ট।
my life. Now that I think about it, my wife and I always meet at a familiar place in my dreams. I know where that place exists in reality, but it's a bit far and dangerous. I don't dare to go there on my own. But at the same time, I feel as if I should go and have a look anyway. Perhaps I'll be able to move on once I see that there's nothing there. Otherwise, I'll keep on feeling like everything is covered in a haze, like I'm only half awake. Once I can stop dreaming about that place, I'll probably be able
একটা
to
জায়গায়
get my life
টেলিপোর্ট
back
করে করে
together.
গিয়ে নিয়ে আসতে হবে তোমার ওইগুলো।
Actually, you two are adventurers, right? If it's okay with you, could you escort me to that place?
Yeah, it might also be a good chance for us to unwind. Even if you can't see your wife there, taking in some nice scenery will definitely help cheer you up.
Yeah, I hope so too.
All right, go ahead and get yourself ready then. Are you headed off to some interesting place without telling me again? Huh? Wait, aren't you supposed to be answering questions? I just finished, and they really got a lot out of it. So many interesting and novel thoughts. Anyway, it looks like you're going somewhere. Why don't you take me with you?
Oh, there's no need to trouble you, great Dendro Archon. I imagine you must have many other important things to deal with.
No need to stand on ceremony. Besides, I wouldn't have asked to come along if I didn't have a good reason. I wanted to use this opportunity to discuss with you some things that are puzzling me right now.
ভাই হাট শালা
I didn't
এগুলো
know
কি
the
আসছে
great
আবার?
Dendro Archon could become puzzled too.
I'm not all that different from you, you know. Alright, let's go. We can talk on the way.
ওখানে 62 লেভেলের বসের সঙ্গে মারবো কিভাবে? আর একটাকে মারা যায়, সে দুটোকে কিভাবে মারে? জানো তো ওকে মেরে দিয়ে আসবে। আমি একটা মেরেছি এর আগে, একটু আগে।
Buckle up! You're dead meat! Look alive!
Don't tell me they did it
তাহলে
again.
ring the two bell on either side of the room.
Chivalry will never die.
বুঝবি? বেল কোথায়?
All right, let's head off.
Stand with me!
ওখানে একটা বেল আছে না? বেল থাকা বেল রয়েছে এখানে। কি করে চলা বেল বাজাতে হয় না? ওর অ্যানিমেশন ছিল।
The wind knows it.
As one with wind and cloud.
Ring cutter! No, my sword! Huh?
এ পাইমনকে একটা পাইমন সাথে সাথে করে তাহলে হিলও করতে পারে না, কিছু করতে পারে না। ও ভাই, এটা আবার এখানে একটা সাপ এসছে, কি কি ও ভাই, আরে বুঝতে পারছি এর মধ্যে কোথা দিয়ে রাস্তা হাট না কি হচ্ছেটা কি
It's
কি
always
হবে
nice to go for a leisurely stroll.
এখানে গেলে তো
Huh. Do adventurers often go to places like this? Huh. I guess so.
So, this is where you always meet your wife in your dreams?
Yes, for the most part. Our place is on the summit, just up ahead. When I saw her in my dreams, we didn't do anything but talk about ordinary, mundane topics. I'd tell her about our daughter, Haidar, and she always listened intently. She would also reminisce about the past with me, telling me interesting stories and cracking jokes. It feels like no
কত
matter
নিচে
how
যাওয়া
long
যায়
we
রে
may chat,
কত শেষই হচ্ছে
it's
না
never enough.
Sometimes, it's the little things in life that matter the most. This is the part I'm a little puzzled about. I am very familiar with dreams, and normally, they lack logic and continuity. But you said she could remember what you had told her before, right?
That's right. She always listened to me carefully in real life, and now she's doing the same in my dreams. She always surprises me with some details from our lives in the real world. The fact that she can remember such things makes me feel like she's alive.
Whoa, that's pretty weird. Well, dreams are kind of weird to begin with. However, the problem is that his dreams have too much structure and continuity. Most dreams are far more fragile than you can imagine. For example, a loud noise outside your window in the real world could cause your dream self to get loaded into and fired out of a big cannon.
তাহলে শুয়ে শুয়ে stream করবো, বুঝবি
Another example. If you're thirsty in the real world, then you might find yourself
এই
trudging
আমি
through a desert in
এনশিয়েন্ট
your dream.
খানগা সিটি ডিসকভার করে নিয়েছি এর ভেতরে একটা সিটি রয়েছে এত নিচে পৃথিবীর নিচে
But the appearance of your wife seems unusually stable and unaffected by any outside interference. Statistically, this should be extremely rare.
I don't understand it either. But I have no reason to suspect or reject these dreams. They're too beautiful.
But I still want to figure out the how and the why. These kind of dreams are novel to me as well. That's why I want to have a look at the scene your dreams have been taking place at. Let's go. Just think of it as a nice little hike to the top of the mountain. Well, he really wasn't kidding. This place definitely isn't safe. No matter. We'll just finish them quickly. Huh? Are you going to fight too, Nahida? Of course. This is all part of our little trip. Hey! Yeah!
Rain outlines your fate. No, my sword! Let me weave it. Out of my way!
The scenery here is amazing! It also seems like a great spot for eating snacks and taking a nap. Paimon wouldn't mind spending some time here every day either. I've yet to see anything strange about this place. I do not plan to deny the power of longing. Such an intense but unquantifiable emotion could indeed have the power to organize dreams. His wife must be a really amazing person. Huh?
আমি বাড়ি এসে একবারও কারেন্টও যায়নি, ওয়াইফাইও যায়নি আমার। আমার সিম পুরো 4 ঘন্টা 5 ঘন্টা ধরে চলবে এখন। আর একটা সময় স্টার্ট করেছে, এখন কটা বাজে?
So you
6
were
ঘন্টা হয়ে
waiting
গেছে।
for me here? Well, guess what? I've brought someone amazing with me today. When the Dendro Archon said she wanted to come with me, I could hardly believe it. I'll bring Haidar once I'm more familiar with the way here. She's been telling me that she really misses you.
Huh? What's wrong with him? There's nobody there.
Wait, Minar. Don't go that way. It's dangerous.
Uh-oh, he's gonna fall. Catch him! Whew. Luckily he didn't fall. But what was all that rambling about? He also looks like he's passed out. He's in a dream now. What he said just now matches almost perfectly with the dreams he's described to us earlier.
ও ভাই, একে আবার এপিসোড চলেছে এখানে। ও না,
Oh,
স্লিপ এসছে
so
আবার এখানে।
he fell asleep and started to have the same dream?
এ ডে
I
স্লিপ কি
find it
করছে
a little
এখানে?
strange as well, but we mustn't awaken someone while they're sleepwalking.
ভাই ডে
All we
স্লিপ
can
চলে
do
এসছে।
is sit here and wait.
Huh? Minar. Where's Minar?
Oh, good! You're finally awake!
What happened? Huh? Sleepwalking? Oh, right. It was all just a dream.
আমার মনে হয় ডেন স্লিপ একটা সেলেস্টিয়ার সাথে কোনো ইসে আছে। ও আর পাইবন একই রকমের ইসে পড়ে পেছনে করতে সেটা।
The moment I reached the summit, I saw my wife, Minar, sitting there, and walked over to her. After I introduced her to you, she seemed a little flustered and started walking away. I told her to stop because of the cliff. And then she seemed to suddenly disappear. A strong wind started to blow around me and the sky grew dark. When I realized something wasn't right, I woke...
That sounds pretty wild. Maybe you were just too tired.
I don't think so. I slept a lot yesterday, and I don't feel very sleepy now.
Maybe we've affected the way his subconscious constructs dreams by following him here. Anyway, all that matters is that you woke up safe and sound.
ওটা কি? না, না, না।
I think I know what happened now.
জুই,
I'm sorry. If it weren't for you, I would have fallen.
Let's head back now. Don't come back to this place again for the time being.
Oh, okay.
Nahida, what's on your mind? Paimon's a little worried now. We still don't have enough evidence to work off of, so it's hard to draw any reliable conclusions yet. But I'm concerned that Ilmon's case may not be unique to him. Oh, right! Come to think of it, there were lots of people from the event who had vivid memories of their dreams. Right. And not only at a moment of dreams, there may be people like this all across Sumeru. We need to understand what's happening and the rate of its development as soon as possible. Then there's no time to lose. Let's head back. Stop standing there, Ilmon. Let's go.
হ্যাঁ, ধ্যাৎ।
is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before? He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history! All that stuff happened already in real life! It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it! So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Ooh, Paimon's so confused. Huh? Ah! Sorry, Paimon accidentally... It's the Balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat! He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him! There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a wink tonight. So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here. Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes, cream stew, sauteed matsutake, and Dragon chili chicken, almond tofu, satisfying salad. Oh, also Adeptus Temptation, golden shrimp balls, triple layered consomme, lotus seed and bird egg soup, and balladeer? Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name, though. What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said? So, the balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something. Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
দেখো বুঝবি
Please speak to President Summer. I'm just...
We've made it to Amanoma Smithy.
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more. The once-renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Aminoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume,
আবার ইংলিশে
and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time,
বুঝি না
only
হেলি
the
চুড়িল
Aminoma
কি করে এত
branch
নিচে
kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
ওরে ভাই আরো নিচে যাওয়া যাবে
Remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then too. It seems like such a shame.
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my
আমি
mind,
বাসটাকে নষ্ট
did
করে
I
দিই
ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will
একটা
be
কথা
right
বলবো
behind you.
যে পুরো মেরে কমপ্লিট করে দিলাম আবার এখানে এসে স্পন হলো প্রথম দিয়ে আর ও ও নিজে গেছে ওখানে আমি ওকে নিয়ে যাইনি হ্যাঁ সাইমন বুঝবি কে বললো
This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler! It's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
আমারও না রিয়াক্ট করার।
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the Commissioner's behalf. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
মাউসটা হোল্ড করলে মারা যাচ্ছে না একে। দিয়েছে আল্লাহ ওসালা আর আমি আছে যখন পারবে না তখন হাতটাকে ঘুরাবে শুধু মালটা ওখানে ফেসে গেছে দেখো
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are and how much she admires you.
লেলা তো এমনিই
I
মরে
must
গেছে
say,
ওটা বাড়ি খেলেই মরে
many
যায় লেলা
things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all. I mean it. Whenever the commissioner
আরেকটা রয়েছে
dines
তো
at home, Toma
ওটা
always
ডরমেন্ট
joins him. I always
ওটা নড়ছেও
find
না
myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away. The commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. But given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma is a much better chef than most. Oh, the commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes too, you know, always with a very fond tone, the way one would talk about dear old friends around whom Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them.
গোল
It's
গোল ঘুরছে এই
been
মালটা
many years
কোথায়
now
যাবি তুই
since the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato passed away.
নিজের জায়গা
Much has
রাস্তা খুঁজে পাচ্ছে
happened
না
in the Kamisato clan
গোল
in
গোল
that
ঘুরছে এখানে
time. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, it makes me so happy to see them meet a dependable friend whose company they enjoy so much. So, in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro Commission headquarters. Wonderful.
Paimon
এই না
likes these.
তোমার কোয়েস্ট
Paimon's
করছে
itching to try it.
বুঝবি
Of course.
Alright, goodbye for now. We're great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry.
All right.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of.
Very well.
I'm sure the Kamisato clan will be fine.
The desert's a tough adversary, but at least it doesn't hide anything. What you see is what you get, and whether you take on the challenge is entirely up to you.
What about outside Inazuma? What will the repercussions be of scrapping the Sakoku decree?
কি করতে পারছি না এখানে
I'm sure the Kamisato clan will be fine.
There's something in the air. Something that tells me a new case is brewing.
that given to have can do anything about it more or Lumen's Park বলছি না লুমেন্স পার্কটা কি এ কি হাতে যেটা ধরা রয়েছে
We're here.
এটা লেভেল বাড়াতে হবে
Traveler! It's been a while. If you're looking for
Are they out?
the commissioner is
What do you think? Shall we go in?
if it were any
We'll be heading in.
ভালো হয়েছে
Hello, dears. Of course, what would you like to know? Oh, they're as for
So pretty.
very.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very Miss Kami. I must say. Whenever the commissioner, they say they get to Miss Kami-san. It's been many years now since the late Mr. and as someone who is so in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know wonderful.
Paimon likes Paimon's itching to try.
Of course.
All right, goodbye for now. We're great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll...
All right.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Bob.
Yep, everything's taken...
Very well.
ওটা আমার হয়ে গেছে কোয়েস্টটা, তুমি তাহলে করো এই টারা টেলসে। তাহলে এর সাথে আমি কথা বলে দিলাম ভুল করে। টারা টেলস হয়নি, এটা মানে ভাব আমার হয়ে গেছে টারা টেলস। ক্যারেক্টার লেভেল এখানে মোড়া দেয় 50,000 করে, জানিস 50,000 করে 200 করে রেখে দেয়, আবার গাড়িটা ফুলের উপর লেভেল অফ ম্যাটেরিয়াল দেয়।
Wind Strider!
I'm ready!
Rain Cutter!
Cheap tricks!
Gloves off!
It's over! Cut down! Like this.
Clouds high. The birds come.
No, my sword! Let me weave you a verse.
You win.
Yeah!
ঠিক আছে
Into the wind.
ধ্যাৎ, শালা
Falling leaves.
হচ্ছে না এটা
I'll settle this. Rain cutter. Rain outlines your fate. Know my sword. Out of my sight.
আর ম্যাগো মরে যাবে বুঝলি তো?
This body belongs
একটা রিলসে দেখাচ্ছিল না ম্যাকবুকতে হাওয়া বেরোচ্ছিল পড়ে 5 ঘন্টা ধরে স্ট্রিম চলছে আমার আর কি আছে
Our bond is strong.
একটা কথা বুঝছি না এটাকে ভাঙার জন্য কত লুমিন আর্গুমেন্ট লাগবে তাহলে তাহলে একটা ডার্ক ম্যাটার ভাঙাই যাচ্ছে না। অনেক মোটামুটি তো অনেক আছে
Stand with me.
In the two minutes. এগুলো আমার ঠিক করেছি টোপ মেরে ভাঙতে হয় পয়জনটা আমি ভেঙে দিয়েছি তোমার খেলা ওইগুলো হয়নি পয়জনগুলো তোপ পয়জনগুলো 3টে তোপ থাকে তোপ মেরে ভাঙতে হয় প্রথম ইলেকট্রিক ওগুলো পয়জন না ইলেকট্রিক্যাল চার্জ
Into the wind.
আইল্যান্ড 3 সাইডে যেতে হয় 3খানা তোপ থাকে ধাপ করে মারলে প্রথমে ইলেকট্রিক ব্যারিয়ার ভাঙে তারপর ভেতরে গিয়ে পাথরের সাথে এলাইট পাথরের সাথে ফাইট যেতে হবে
One with wind and cloud.
Witness the power of the wild. Gloves off.
বলে 50 লেভেলের রাইডে কিনতে হয়
My people are used to the desert life, but still, I hope that one day they'll be able to find an oasis of their own and leave the sandstorms behind for a better.
Our bond is strong.
ও একটা জিনিস বুঝতে পারলাম পোকাটাকে দিয়েছে কেন পোকাটাকে ইউজ
Here we
করতে
are.
হবে
But what are we looking for? Something or someone?
কি পোকাটাকে ইউজ করে তোমাকে লাইট গুলো জ্বালাতে হবে
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Xavier, what are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So what about you two?
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand? Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here. Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation, goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too.
আবার ফাইট
They
নিতে
say
হবে
he
হ্যাঁ
was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about
Yeah.
Tatarasuna?
ওইটা এখানে
Ask already.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge? Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet, actually. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where Tatarasuna is concerned.
মেরে দিলাম তাহলে এত বড় একটা জিনিস দেখেও মজা আসে ও ভাই মালটা ঘুরতে থাকে হ্যাঁ
Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling
খেলা আমার
you.
হুটা মরে গেছে এ জলদি আগে থেকে একটুখানি বাড়ি মার মরে যাবে
Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon, come on. Alright,
তিনটে একটা ডাউন হয়ে গেছে আগের থেকে তো একটা মরাই ছিল তাই না? এই আর এখানে তো ছিল। এদিকে আয়, কোথায় গেলি তুই? তুমি একা ফাইট, তুমি ফাইট না।
Look alive!
মারায়।
Falling leaves, adorn my
Power that ended Python!
এই 18,000 ড্যামেজ দিল আমার। বেদ 18,000 ড্যামেজ দিল ওভার চার্জ।
Hey, it's them!
Akaba! Sawada! You're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Still looking for more info about Tatara Suna, huh?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh, of course.
খেলা মাইক কাজ চলছিল নাকি? স্ট্রিমটা বন্ধ করে দিই, না তো আসল স্ট্রিমাররা ধরে পেদাবে লাস্টে।
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
কোথায় যেন যেতে হবে? চাশমা, চাশমা আন্ডারগ্রাউন্ড।
Well, what do you think?
আমার এখন মাউন্টেনও খুলতে হবে।
Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
What did you find out?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Armanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true.
করতে হবে মেইন ভিলেন এসছে এখানে এই আর কি এইগুলোকে মারতে পারবো না এগুলো
So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
Never want to trade tactics. I'm always ready. These guys are really into this.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.
Nahida, we're here. Traveler, Paimon, how have you been? Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then he decided he wanted to go to Inazuma. The Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name. You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me? Let the show begin. Traveler? Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset. I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
হাসি পাচ্ছে আমি তোর কোয়েস্টে সব আওয়াজ শুনতে পাচ্ছি কে কি বলছে পায়মান কি বলছে
quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past.
But how was he even able to do that?
As the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because, well, because he literally changed the world?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect him. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you.
Hello.
It's quite incredible when you think about it.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
তারা স্ট্রিম করে, তারা এসে আমাকে ফাটিয়ে দেবে, ডায়লমে এসে ফাটাবে সবার আগে। এই দুটোকে মারতে গেলে আমাকে ফাটিয়ে দেবে পুরো।
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
কত পাওয়ারফুল না, ফাটিয়ে দিচ্ছে আমাকে পুরো। ফাটিয়ে দিয়েছি। ও ভাই, দুটোকে ফাটিয়ে দিচ্ছি।
Something else worrying you?
ওটা মরে গেল।
Something that you can't share?
লাস্ট মোমেন্টে স্যালারে শিল্ড তৈরি হয়ে যায়। হ্যাঁ,
It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again.
ডেন্ডো ক্যারেক্টার এটা ভালো কলি
He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. This story makes sense, every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Please wait a moment. I want to found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the balladeer?
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabukimono in other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible!
And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us, the now erased life of the balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us.
বুঝবি তাহলে হিলও হচ্ছে না
At this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail, that Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better. This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but so the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation again later.
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head?
You got it! Come on, Traveler! You need to get out of your head for a while. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be sure to lift our spirits! It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that.
कुछ भी
Let's get it on!
Hear the truth of redemption! The gifts of grace by holy proclamation! The power of revelation!
This is long overdue!
Be upon you!
Look alive! Ha! You asked for it!
The truth shall set you free! Grace be upon you!
Get back! Don't be a hero!
The flames of redemption! The words of joy! Peace and hope find
एलियन में गिना
through. Set sail for home. Born of ice and frost. Is it my time?
Grace be upon you. The door is opened unto you. The fate of this world is already
Contrast Primogems দিল Jhuvi's voice কি বলতে Jhuvi's voice coming from up here কি
Stand with me.
कुछ भी
Hey there. Excuse us, but is Sino at the academia?
You two look familiar. Are you friends of Mahamatra Sino? But if you'd like, I can pass whatever message you might have on to him.
We ran into this guy by the gates, and he seems really eager to speak with Amatra. It sounds like something urgent.
Oh? If you don't mind, why don't you tell me about it first?
Siraj.
Siraj. That name sounds familiar. Isn't he a Vahumana researcher?
আর কি অ্যাপেলে কিবোর্ডটা ওনার খারাপ হয়ে যাবে কিবোর্ড লাগায় না তো হ্যাঁ অন্য কিবোর্ড লাগানো যায় রিসার্চ ল্যাব আরএনটি ও প্যান্থোলজিস্ট and এই দেখো
Vahumana researcher?
Yes, one of their most renowned, in fact. I hear he's as daring as he is intelligent. There are rumors he'll become Vahumana's next sage. But please continue, good sir.
I want to report him. For conducting a dame, he kidnapped me, tied me up, and took me to that horrible cave. Experimental equipment. I ran as fast as I could. A little slower, and he would have caught me.
There's no rush. Please, take your time. What kind of experiments was he conducting? Where is this cave?
I don't remember.
Huh? You can't remember?
আমার প্রায় শেষ হতে গেল এই নিউজ এক্সপ্লোরার আর একটুখানি বাকি আছে
All I remember is Siraj walking towards me, and then my head started feeling weird.
এই শো এটা পুরো ইউটিউব দেখে করেছে আর আমি বিনা ইউটিউব দেখে করলাম হ্যাঁ ওই দেখো বলে গেম ও ইনস্টল ইউটিউব দেখে বুঝবি এখান দিয়ে যাওয়া যাবে না এখান দিয়ে যাওয়া যায়
It's like a nightmare that I can't recall. I just know that that place is dangerous and that they must be stopped. Oh, I heard they conduct business in the tavern. We have to hurry.
Even if what you say is... Alright, I'll have some of my colleagues look into Siraj. But before that, I would like to administer the Matra lie detector test.
You think I'm lying?
Please don't take it the wrong way. This is just standard protocol. Sorry, but can you two wait out here a little while?
Huh? I'll hate them.
Let me bring you up to speed. First things first, Ilyas passed the lie detector test. This indicates that what he said is highly credible. As such, we've decided to launch an investigation based on the leads he provided. Per protocol, this matter was reported to Acting Grand Sage Al-Haytham. After hearing about it, he left a message for Mahamatra Sino and then asked to join the investigation.
Huh. It's kind of weird for you to be working with the Matra. Is there a special reason?
You're overthinking things. My interest was piqued, is all.
হাসি পাই দেখলে এটা
Really? I'm surprised you have this much free time.
আমি একটা জিনিস বুঝতে পারছি না এই জায়গাটা যাবো কোন জায়গা দিয়ে এটা এদিক দিয়ে
In that case, let's join in as well, shall we, traveler?
It's already against protocol for Acting Grand Sage Al-Haytham to participate in this investigation. As for you two... Oh, never mind. After all, you were the ones who brought Ilyas here. I'll allow you to accompany us, but you have to promise to keep everything confidential.
এ ভালো ড্যামেজ দেয় তো শুক্রোজের এলিমেন্ট মাস্টারি বেশি থাকলে
Don't you worry, our lips are sealed.
All right, in that case, I'll fill you in on what we know so far. Ilyas claimed that Siraj will be conducting some business with a Kasharawar researcher at the tavern. This is one of his few clear memories. It seems he stumbled upon this information while escaping. Incidentally, Siraj isn't at the academia right now. He applied for long-term off-site research 1 month ago. It's close to the time that Ilyas had given. So we've decided to head to the tavern and investigate any suspicious persons.
That's right. Arav, prepare to head out. You two, do as you will.
Oh, come on! We already said that we're coming!
But चलो वेस्ट कर दिया আজকাল হিলি চুলকেও এত মারতে হয় উঠাও দিয়ে হাট আগে একটা মারলে মরে যাচ্ছে ছেলে আবার রেস্ট করো 2 ঘন্টা স্ট্রিম করো আর আমি 6 ঘন্টা ধরে যে 6 ঘন্টার বেশি হয়েছে আমি 8:30টার সময় শুরু করলাম
The desert's a tough adversary, but at least it doesn't hide anything. What you see is what you get, and whether you take on the challenge is entirely...
আমি এই আজ পর্যন্ত কোনো গেমে এরকম কিছু দেখিনি রুইন্স দেখিনি এত মাটির তলায় ডুবে যায় পুরো এর শেষই হচ্ছে না বলে লাস্ট ওয়ার্সের সাথে ফাইট হবে আমার মনে হচ্ছে এরপর শেষ হয়ে যাবে পুরো রুইন থেকে চলে গেছে ও ভাই
Iwan's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list? Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some. We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the traveler in Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Ah, so you two are still hanging out together. Dia, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dia wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes! Paimon can't believe you can still refuse that!
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. there's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, looks like Junior's ad was onto something.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention.
এগুলো অ্যানিমেল লজিক।
As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's Relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
তো আসলে আরোজির কে বানাবে ভালো কাস্টমাইজ বানায় ওর ভেতরে মনিটর ঢুকিয়ে দেওয়া হয় তো যেই পারফরমেন্স আর পিসি বানিয়েছে ওই পারফরমেন্স পিসি লোকে 3 লাখ টাকায় বানিয়ে দিয়ে দেবে আরোজি না নিলে জিউ লাগে না এটা কি কম এসছে দেখ
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
ভাব আমি 7 ঘন্টা ধরে স্ট্রিম করছি
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dia. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. It's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish. That was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even no one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me. Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you now.
আরে আমি মাইক বন্ধ ইসে করে দিচ্ছি, আমি আমাদের ইয়ারবাডের চার্জ শেষ হয়ে গেছে।
আমি ফাইটের মিডিলে শালা বস মারছি বসে চলে যাচ্ছে আরে ওর নেটটা ভালো তোর আর আমার অ্যালায়েন্স না একবারে যাহার সব একবারে মরবে আমার হয়ে গেছে
Haven't won yet.
আমার রিকানেক্টিং আর কিছু হয় না এমআইয়ের রাউটার শালা এমআইয়ের রাউটারে কোনো নোটিফিকেশন দেখার কোনো উপায় নেই শালা একটা লাইট বেশি অ্যাস্থেটিক মারছে এ আমার ওয়ার্ল্ডে হয়তো শালা আমার 3 সেকেন্ড লাগে লোড হতে ওয়েট করছিস
আমার আওয়াজ আসছে? আর 5টা বাকি।
তেনাকে চিনিস তো ও শালা 10টা খুলেছে ওকে দেয়া ফ্রিতে দিয়ে দিয়েছে
কি ক্রিস্টালের আর বাকি 4টে কোথায়? এ কি?
হ্যাঁ দীপ কি করছিস এটা
ক্রিস্টাল পিউরিফায়ার সকাল থেকে 6 ঘন্টা লেগে গেছে মানে এই চাম্পার এই মাইন খুলতে গিয়ে। এখন একদম লাস্টে এসে চাশমা মাইন।
চাম্পার মাইন্ড ট্যাজাম শালা চাম্পার মাইন্ড
চাশমা মাইন সে সকাল থেকে করছি এখনো শেষ হলো না।
আমার কবে খুলে গেছে
তুমি তো সব ইউটিউব থেকে ঝেপে দিয়েছো পুরো।
কত শালা আমি এক্সপ্লোর করে করে খুলি শালা যেটা পাই না সেটা দেখি কি বলবো দেবু মনে করলাম আর কিছু করার নেই। দেবু দেবু ইউটিউব দেখেও পারবে না, বলে দিচ্ছি। শালা গুগল ড্রাইভে আপলোড করতে কালকে 10 বার ফোন করে আবার শালা মাথা গরম করে দিয়েছি, ব্লক করে দিয়েছি। একেবারে চাপ দিয়ে দিচ্ছি। আর একজন বলে জিপি পুড়ে গেছে, ক্লেম করতে পারবি তো? তুই ওয়ারেন্টি রেজিস্টার করেছিস? আমি করব না এখন, 1 বছর যাবে তারপরে গিয়ে ওয়ারেন্টি রেজিস্টার করবো। ফ্রিতে 1 বছর wait করবো। আমি কিচ্ছু ওয়ারেন্টি রেজিস্টার করিনি আজ অব্দি যা কিনেছি। ভিপিএন লাগা, ওরকম খোলে না অ্যালায়েন্সে মাঝে মাঝে, আমি ভিপিএন লাগিয়ে খুলে যায়।
আমার নেটটাই ভালো, আমার নেট ছাড়া আজ পর্যন্ত বাড়ি এসে একবারও নেট যায়নি আমার।
হুম।